be exciting just knowing everybody in this auditorium is interested in the current fintech development. To encourage this type of continuous professional training and development.
At this stage, I'd just like to say a special thanks to a lot of people who get involved in the organisation of this event. Dr. Andy Jeng, and Dr. David Trey, who's just next to him. Please, David, thanks for your work. And also Dr. Kaz Kwok, administrators that have done quite a lot of work as well behind the scenes. And I just want to say thanks to Christy, Sharon, Joyce, because they do a lot of work and work really hard on that. So these guys are here, and thank you for their efforts, please.
Dr. George Lam, Chairman of the Cyberport Management Company Limited. Mr. Nelson Chow, Chief Fintech Officer from the Hong Kong MA. Dr. Frank Tong, Head of the Innovation Lab and Strategic Investment from the Hong Kong Bank. And also Professor Roman Tauscher, Chair of Finance from the University of Nottingham, UK.
And in the future, all the assets will be digital in nature. The most valuable assets in the future. In fact, many of them now are already digital. For example, the asset of Google, the most valuable is the digital part of it, the database. So Hong Kong will be a leading digital asset management center for the Belt and Road as well. You look at the Greater Bay Area now, 9 cities in one province, the best province in terms of economic performance in China, plus Hong Kong and Macau, the 2 special administrative regions. This Greater Bay Area is roughly a quarter of the entire country's GDP and economic strength. Look into in terms of export, in terms of outbound investment, roughly the Greater Bay Area is about 25%.
First, what is fintech? As we all know, where you come here to this symposium, you want to learn something, but I know the very fundamental things that you know is fintech is just 2 words, financial technology. So let's move back to 160 years ago. The technology is already there serving us. So that's technology in the old days. 70 years ago, we have the Visa, we have the credit card. The first 2 industrial revolutions is actually from the United Kingdom. So when he talked about this, it carries some weight, and you can also see why London is trying so hard in the past 5 years to build itself as the top-notch fintech center on earth.
The bank itself will never become a technology company because we don't have the DNA of a technology company. But we will use technology as much as we can, and we will, evolve and migrate, to a new era. So, which is quite important to us, Now, so in terms of technology, we are the world's first mobile bank. We will be in the future. This is going to be a very prosperous area to grow. And given Hong Kong is China's international financial center, so there are a lot to do with the finance. Namely, I think the technology centers that support the financial industry is going to be a big thing.
It's not that the banks will completely disappear, but probably what he meant is that we have discovered that we may make payments, we don't need the banks. We can have loans, but we don't need banks to get loans. Or we need to invest, but we don't need banks. So, but the banks will not completely disappear. What we can see is disappearance of branches, but not the banks. And I think the financial innovation bring the similar changes, and just the standard banks have to adapt to them.
The secret sauce to fintech is, or to Hong Kong's success in fintech is ecosystem, right? That's kind of what we believe very much as well. For fintech to be successful, to properly understand the ecosystem is very important. I think that's even more scary is from analysis to pricing. Analysis is basically processing information. Now we've proven that AI can process information far more efficient.
I'm doing blockchain. I am not doing Bitcoin. But then the word comes. Why? Bitcoin is blockchain. And why is it not blockchain is Bitcoin? Please don't mix up blockchain with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is kind of accounting value, a kind of value of exchange, but up to today, there is a lot of limitation that make it hard.
TechFin is invented by Jack Ma. So we embrace this TechFin idea is because now I think today's is not just about technology, right? Fintech, the terms come up a few years ago because we need the technology to enable the new business model. But now the technology are there. So we have to use the technology to see how we evolve in the next business model. If it is a security product or security tokens, it's not just the compliance is not just who is issuing the tokens. It's also who is going to give advice to the token, because financial advisory is a regulated business, regulated activities in Hong Kong, especially financial advisory on security products.
I classify the smart banking architecture. This bank using 20 minutes and get the ATM card. Of course, and also open the bank account for me. And then after 20 minutes, and then I go outside the ATM and then I deposit some money. And then I can using the payment already. Very, very convenient. So for the banking scenario, I think that this is, I already talked about some application, credit card, personal account opening, cash payment, and report laws, all can under the new bank, smart bank initiative.
I think in the society, the community at large debate and talk about it. It's kind of like a black box in some ways, but it's more enlightening now. And the biggest issue regarding us is human in the community. It's the replacement of our job. I think a lot of impression, a lot of people from the industry have that impression. Could that be a misconception, or could it actually generate alternative type of employment opportunities?
I think it will just create new kinds of jobs. It's going to change the lifestyle and the format and the structure of work.
I'll give you another example from people who are in the fintech business, what they share with us, right? Because we talk to them, they do AI, they do programs, they analyze things, and they said, oh, he's actually based here in Hong Kong. And he said, we are selling our programs to asset management firms. They're buying our programs. And where do they get the money from? They're just firing a third of their analysts.
I think we are still not preparing students for new jobs. We need closer collaboration with industry. This is still somehow missing. And this is similar to what I mentioned. There is a demand and supply. What we do is supply. We supply. I teach the model for 20 years, and as a lecturer, I am very unwilling to prepare something different. But I have to adjust to a new demand. And also the lecturers themselves have to, the research, but also collaboration, consultancy, that they need in practice. They see in the practice what kind of skill is needed.
The job will just be different, right? So I think what we need to do is anticipate what's the new job, right? And even the concept of job, is it going to be or the concept of career?
We will create more fintech companies working together with the big banks. So it means that although the DNA have changed, because HSBC, Dr. Frank Tom say they will invest about 15 to 17 billion in coming 3 to 5 years. Just like the metaphors, just like the butterfly, we get something change, but after change it, we maintain the economy or we maintain the pace or the habit doing business or collaborate with other business partners.